So hi guys, so we are back after the Unity loading. So we're just going to make a new script. I already make a folder in Unity. So over here, let's make a C# script. We're going to call it learn to code. Okay. So we're going to open it up on Visual Studio, and then we do not need that. We're just using to explain. So this is going to be introduction to variable, what are variables and what kind type of variables, and that's all about it. Okay, so variable is something that where you store things. For example, think about a letter box, right? You give some letter box, it gets into the letter box. Or like a drawer, you sort out the things in a drawer, you put stuff in the drawers. Same thing with variable is the base of programming, and we need variables to make any kind of games or pretty much any kind of app or anything. Okay, and variables can be numbers, booleans, or characters. Now we're going to show you some variable types. So the first variable types I'm going to talk about is float. For example, float speed, for example, like how fast your character moves. Let's say 5f. Okay, now float is the variable type and we're naming it speed, and we're assigning a value with f. Why we putting f means that it's a float. There is another, and float also allows you to have decimal points, for example 5.5 or 5.0, you can do that. Okay, and we are putting f because there's also another variable type called double. Okay, double, say velocity, and you can put 5.7, and double doesn't need any kind of like an end with f or something like it, for example d. So the difference between float and double is like double has like the capacity to store way more decimal point numbers than float, which is not really necessary for games, and you may want to use a double for making something an app for accounting where you want exact number of values that you want to see, but for our game purposes we don't need to use double. Float is good enough. Okay, then there is something called integer. Int for short. Integer is say like our health for the character, say 100. Okay, all right. Integer is a variable type where it only stores whole numbers, it doesn't have any decimal. For example, if you put if you put divide int, like an divide an int number, like for example 5 by divided by 2, it will only return 2, it won't return any decimal points. So that's what the integer does. Okay, and then we have string, and string is basically say name, right? Say name of the player is like Harry. Okay, so we can put that and store the name variable for that. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is bool. Bool is basically checking is it true or false. That's all it does. For example, we are checking is our player dead. We say false because we're assigning that our player has 100 health. It's so this is not true. And then another thing is there is called character, say one character. Okay, like a one character is only allows you to store one character. This is not useful for games. Don't think it's very useful. It's one of the things that they made in early days, and I don't think we use that very often. I'm not sure why you use it, so it's not really that convenient for using characters. Okay, and you can put comments. See, if you want to write any comments for anything, you can do this and write whatever you want, like anything like this. You can also put like a sentence by doing something like this, then you do this. Okay, So that's our comment. We go over here and that's it. So basically today that's our first lesson for the variable types. Later I will show you how to use them and print some things on the console. So I hope you liked it. It was just an introduction to the videos, and if you like my video, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos for this series where I will explain more about the programming and how to use things. My plan is to make a introduction to the C sharp and then make a 2.5D or a 2D platformer to show you how we use those things to make a game. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like my video, and you'll see you around. Take care.